What was the thing?
Where's your thing?
Oh, it's back on the pad. Grab the thing. There you go. Let somebody start knocking room service.
You know we're live, right?
This is awesome. You're seeing firsthand how tough it is to do a Facebook Live. We've been working all day on this. Hey guys, we're going to be starting a program and we wanted to bring it out to you right away. We didn't want to wait at all. So it's going to be a short sales, loan modification, and selling your property program, starting over in your life with people that are having those kind of issues right now, and understanding that it's not the end of the world when you do something like that. And I have Matty Merenoff here from Real Estate Recovery Group, a special guest, and he's going to be doing a component of this series on a weekly basis. We're going to be putting together different chapters, so stay tuned. It's going to be coming to you weekly. It's going to be in a webinar format from now on, but the first one, we said, let's get a Facebook Live so we can get people to sign up. You can go to our site right now. Right now, it's going to be on my site. You can sign up for the webinars, and every week you'll get dropped a new link for the new webinars. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about, talk to Matty so you guys understand. I know a lot of people know who he is. A lot of people don't know who he is, but you should know who he is. Matt Merenoff is the founder of Real Estate Recovery Group. Handles all the short sales nationwide for not only investors like myself, but homeowners and realtors. He has a partner program that he just launched. So we want to talk about his partner program and how that works. What do you get in the partner program and what kind of people fit that partner program? But Matt, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what got you started in this business.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
Facebook Live, it's all you, man.
I love it. It's all live. So, basically, for myself, I started in this industry about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And I love the concept of trying to helping people that really didn't have a place to go, didn't have options. I've been on the investment side of it. I've been on the wholesale side of it. But my real passion is helping homeowners that are in trouble with their houses.
Right.
And as you know, Dan, this is one of the biggest things that are out there right now is that people don't have a place to go with or a trusted name or somebody nationwide to help them with modifications or short sales. So I guess I've always had this dream in the back of my head to have a program where there was a place where somebody could go to, bring a situation, and try to figure out how to take a square peg and jam it into a round hole. Okay. So basically, the Partners Program launched. I mean, the soft launch was about a year or so ago, but I'm really pushing it now to people like yourself and individuals, whether they're investors, whether they're realtors. I get attorneys contacting me now nationwide. They're running into situations where they don't know how to help the homeowner themselves, and the agents, unfortunately, they're not being trained properly on how to handle the short sale aspect of it, as you and I see on a daily basis. A lot of agents don't know how to fill out the paperwork, and unfortunately, and no fault of your own, ladies and gentlemen, but most people don't even know how to fill out a listing agreement.
They're really, I agree with you. They really should probably teach this in real estate school, but at least, and not to, I'll interject at certain points. Matt and I have had the fortunate opportunity to be able to speak at some real estate offices, and really Matt's blown people's minds at the real estate offices, and he does this completely free. He goes to a real estate office and he speaks to the agents in that office. The brokers love him because they're always looking to bring quality training to that office. Yeah. And Matt comes in and these agents, a lot of times I've been with him and I speak about creating wealth with an agent, how to work with investors. So I'm on a different spectrum of it. I work on the investment side of it. But when Matt speaks to them, he asks agents all the time, how many of you are doing short sales? And a couple of them will raise their hand. We'll have a room of 50 to 100 agents. A couple will raise their hands. And out of those couple that raise their hands, some of them are trying to work themselves. Some say, I'm never going to, this is what I've heard. And I know Matt's doing a lot more with the short sale stuff than I have. Short sales are dead. It's not happening. You can't get them done. And I'll be honest, I felt the same way until I met Matt a few years ago. And I wouldn't touch a short sale until I, met Matt. And, we've already closed some deals ourselves. And we got some in the works. And deals that, I would have walked away from because the bank came back with ridiculous numbers for us. And Matt just knows how to deal with the bank. His team is amazing. He's got an amazing support team behind him that understands the ins and outs of a bank, how to work with them, and the programs. There's so many programs out there, and I can't tell you that how many people I've met over the last, let's say, 6 months to a year that said, if I would have just got to you a couple months earlier before I lost my house. And it's really, it's sad. So, Matt and I have talked together, and we said, let's put together something for all the people we work with, and not just realtors, not investors, not, we're fortunate enough and we're both blessed enough that, we're in a situation where we have enough properties ourselves and we make enough passive income from rental properties or from whatever our businesses, do ourselves. And it's not always about, buying the person's property. There's a lot of people that come to us and said, listen, damn, my kid is like in high school another 2-3 years. I just need to stay in this house another couple of years, but, my wife lost her job, my husband lost his job, I had a death in the family, and I just don't know where else to turn. And they go to attorneys, and the first thing an attorney tells them is file bankruptcy. And
that's not true.
It's not my business not to know if it's right or wrong. Yeah. But when I give it to Matt, Matt always finds, he always tries that, like you said, fit that square peg in a round hole, and he works with people. And I've had situations where, another situation where borrowers have come to me and said, well, we already got a loan modification, so the banks and the attorney said they're not going to do it for us again. And Matt's gotten somebody their third loan modification. I don't know how that happens, but that's why it's so important to know somebody like Matt, somebody that works for the people on their side to mitigate with the banks. Not that the banks are doing anything wrong, but they, a lot of times on the other end of the phone, they don't know how to deal with you, and you don't know how to deal with them. You don't know how to fill out their paperwork, and that's what they're an expert at. But let me ask you this question. Just what are some of the things that you could put out to the people that they think, because I know in the past, and not using my experience, what are some of the things that you could put out to the people out there where they think, hey, there's no way that the bank's going to work with me on a loan modification or a short sale, that you can,
That's actually a simple question. So, people say to me all the time, it's like, well, I have something, I'd like to shoot by you and see if maybe there's something you can do with this particular client. And it always leads with, but you probably will not be able to help them. Sure. And that's the negative attitude that, people have, that it's like a last-ditch effort. They don't think that the person or the individual is going to be able to qualify for a program that might be available for them. And there's new programs that are coming out all the time. The problem is that nobody wants to take the time to learn the product.
Right.
So my company, we're always finding out about new products, new ways to be able to help homeowners. And the reason why we do it is because we know, and no fault to their own, I mean, even my wife has a real estate license,
right.
Agents themselves are they're inherently lazy. And that's okay. That's okay. And that's why I switched gears, because, I've offered education to people, and people paid me money to educate them. But when it comes down to it, they don't want to do the work.
Right, and that's fine.
And that's why for us, if you've noticed, you'll give us the contact information. We'll do maybe a call where we'll be able to pick up the information, try to kind of build like a portfolio or an understanding of what's going on with that person, and figure out, are they going to be able to fit into a modification program? Are they going to be able to qualify for a short sale? And Dan, here's something that most people don't know. The bank does not have to do a short sale. And people tell me all the time,
I know that all
that's
too well.
Not true. The bank has to do it. No, they don't have to do it.
I know that all too well.
But they don't understand, because they don't understand how to ask the questions. And let me just say this. This is something that, as long as I don't say the bank's names, I can speak like this, because I've already asked attorneys about this. Banks don't have to help the homeowners, okay? They don't have to tell them how they would qualify for a loan modification or a short sale. But check this out. You and I have talked all the time about people that want to try to save their houses.
Right.
And you and I are on the same page. But there's a ton of people out there that only want to essentially grab that asset.
Sure.
They don't care about the homeowner. It's how much money they can make.
Right.
Whereas yourself and myself, when we look at something, we try to analyze the deal, it's a little bit different. But think about it this way. You're a homeowner. And a lot of times you call these banks, and the banks say, be leery of third-party companies that charge for their services. Okay? We help you for free. Let me tell you about some of the people that have come to me that have been helped for free and almost lost their houses. There was that one person that I told you that didn't qualify for a loan modification because they were off on their debt-to-income ratio by 15 cents.
And I've heard that happen a lot. I've heard
15
that happen a lot,
cents.
that part.
The bank forced the homeowner into going to a short sale. But if they were really looking out for that person's interest, they would have said to him, look, just move this number over here and we'll be able to qualify you.
Right.
But they don't have to tell you that. And they won't tell you that aspect of it. Now, the other spectrum, what about the people that want to do short sales? You could make $100,000 a year and have a tremendous amount of debt. But if you don't fill out your income and expenses paperwork correctly, guess what? They can deny you for a short sale.
Sure.
And what's even not funny, scary, is that if you fill out the paperwork incorrect and you send it in and you try to send in additional paperwork to counteract the information that you sent in, they can flag your file for fraud and deny that person from doing a short sale.
Just for a mistake.
Just because of not understanding what they need to do when they send in the paperwork.
So let me ask you this. I mean, I think it's phenomenal that you started a partners program, not just because people can earn some money and we can refer you deals and earn some money. That's not really why I think the partner program is, because I can make a lot more money buying a property. But how many people I've run into that have said to me, listen, I would sell you my house, but I can't sell now for like 2 years or 3 years because my kids are in school. I just can't move. I have my mother here, and she's moving to another state, and I need to keep this house as long as I possibly could.
So you're talking about foreclosure prevention now.
Exactly. But there's different parts of your partner program.
Yeah.
But, I understand why you started the partner program. Why I think it's so great is because it gives you the opportunity to actually help somebody out. 100%. And I come from the non-performing note space. So I buy a lot of non-performing debt from the banks.
Right.
And I always do everything in my power to try to help people stay in their homes.
That's because you're one of the good guys.
Oh, I try to be. But anyway, I always say you have to foreclose on yourself for me to actually go through a foreclosure on you. And why I love the partners program is because it's not about you make a couple dollars here, getting a referral fee. But you're actually there because how many people have said, I want to stay in my house. I don't want to sell it to you. And us as investors or real estate agents have actually said, okay, well, we can't help you, and we've walked away because we couldn't buy the house.
Right.
So now why not just turn the partners program over to you guys? You turn around, you help these people out. Now we become a hero because we save them, and we know that they're being taken care of by you.
Right.
And but let's talk about, a lot of people have this whiff of attitude. What's in for me? If I send you a deal and I join your partners program, what's in it for me? So just let people know out there what is in it for them if they join the partners program.
Well, here I give you an example. There's a realtor. We're doing a deal right now. I believe it's in Marlboro, New Jersey.
Okay, nice area.
I'm not going to say the agent's last name, but her first name is Melissa, and she actually found me.
By the way, Charlie, we're going to give that out in a minute. Go ahead.
She actually found me by watching videos like this, and I showed you the email from the attorney.
Funny videos or real videos?
A little of both. One of those entertaining videos. But she saw the content where I was talking about helping the homeowner avoid foreclosure, trying not to file bankruptcy, right? Mm-hmm. The attorney in the email that I showed you before basically said, blatantly said, you will not get this transaction done. Melissa, do not waste your time. And under 45 days, we stopped the scheduled sheriff sale that was going to go through, right? And we got the short sale approval. She has the client who's purchasing the property, and this house actually has to be renovated. She's going to get the relist on it.
Jeez.
If she listened to the attorney, the person would have lost her house to foreclosure because they were already burnt once before from an attorney.
So they wouldn't have done the right thing.
They were not doing the right thing. All they did was take the homeowner's money.
Right.
Then she contacted an attorney that she does business with, and And just remember, some attorneys that do real estate law don't understand the foreclosure side of it, which this person I don't believe did. And all the stuff I talk about, Dan, is documented. I have the documented proof.
I go through it with you, so I see it.
So now this agent was fortunate enough. We're closing on this transaction at the end of this month. I've got a brand new friend who loves me, right?
People are going to love you when you save their house or make them money.
Right. So the homeowners, we're not going to get a dime. They're getting moving expenses. Mm-hmm. They're avoiding the foreclosure. The agent not only got the listing out of it, had the buyer for it, right? And then, but only because that particular property, that asset, needs to be renovated. But regardless, she didn't care. All she cared about was making sure that the homeowner didn't go to foreclosure and that she could help the person. In the interim, she's making a very big paycheck off of it, and she's referred 2 other clients to me, and we're helping them do the same thing.
Exactly.
That's the essence of the Partners Program. We took over the process, and just so you know, Dan, from beginning to end, I spoke with the homeowner in 11 minutes on the telephone. Whatever I needed, they were willing to give me.
Well, that's important. I'll tell you this, and I'm going to say that. If you want it, and we deal with this all the time. I mean, I deal with it from people looking for private money from, lending from us. Matt's dealing with it on trying to save people's houses, whether it's a short sale, a loan modification. The biggest issue is that we both have is people do not, they're in a rush to get somewhere, but they don't actually hand over the paperwork they need. If you're going to do this deal and you want to do a short sale or even better, a loan modification for yourself and save your home, or ask a bank to take $100,000 less for the house than you owe them that you signed to pay them, if you want to do that, well, you need to do some work. This is not going to be like, hey, Matt or your team, get me out of the $300,000 mortgage for $150,000, and I'm not going to turn over any paperwork to you, and I'm not going to stop going on vacation, because we've dealt with this. I mean, we had a client that I bought a house from. Matt helped me with the short sale, and we were both ready to throw our hands up and give up because the girl decided she wanted to go on vacation when we had a closing date, and the bank said absolutely not. He had to redo all the work again, renegotiate the whole deal, and he did it probably because we have such a good relationship. We've done so much business together. But if I was anyone else, he probably would have said, forget it. I'm not doing it. It's just, she's not serious.
I would charge you double.
Yeah. And, we're paying for this. But, people understand that. And I feel so, I have such a soft heart for people that are going through situations because it happens. You lose your job. God forbid a divorce, a death in the family. Anything can happen to anybody, any one of us. I'm just blessed and fortunate enough right now that we're okay. But God forbid at any given time it can happen to me. So I try to do that for other people. But you have to help yourself. If you're not willing to help yourself, there's nothing that either of us can do for you.
What about the settlement option? What about the settlement options?
We'll talk about that real quick, and then we'll talk about how to get involved.
Okay. So basically, with the company, the premise of the company is it's a funnel, and we're going to go through all the different options. One of my favorite options, and people don't even know is available to them. And I would say about 20% of the transactions that we try to qualify actually can qualify for a settlement. Now, you and I know what that means.
Sure.
But most people don't. And the only way I can describe it is this. You have your house right now. If you do a short sale on your property, that's a short sale, a.k.a. short pay, which I originally called it, but now it's a short sale. You leave your house. You do a settlement. You can actually settle the mortgage with your current lender and stay in your house.
Cool. I don't want to say anything more about that because that's going to be on one of our episodes.
Okay.
How to do a settlement.
Okay.
So I don't want to give away the farm right now. I know Matt is just a wealth of information. He'll give you everything. And not that I want to keep people on here, and I want to talk about the Partners Program, and then we're going to follow up, and I think we're going to have probably about 20 different episodes of dealing with the short sale. Matt's not going to hold back on any of those episodes. So this is not a pay type position. Education. I'm sorry. I do have my online training that finally launched a couple weeks ago. It's going like gangbusters, so that's out there. But this is not a paid education. This is Matt's gonna no holds barred. He's gonna give you the information he has while we do an interview, and then from there. But one thing I want to say to you is, Matt brought it up a couple times. Some realtors are doing short sales, some attorneys are doing short sales. And then you have some, banks that are doing short sales for you. Then you have some short sale negotiators like his company. You have some other companies out there too. And I don't know them all the companies. I just know, I've dealt with attorneys doing it. I've dealt with realtors trying to do it. And I've dealt with, Matt in his company trying to do it. And my thing is, in my business, how I've been so successful. People always ask me, every time I get interviewed or I speak on stage at an event, one of the questions on the panel is always like, what makes you different than anyone else? Why are you successful and other people might have a hard time trying? And there's a couple of things I always say. One, the biggest thing is I keep my word. My word is my bond. Your reputation is everything. Second thing I always say is I take action. And the third thing I always talk about is your systems, your people, processes, and your systems. And in the people I talk about is I always hire experts in their field. I can get out, actually I probably can't get out there and paint the house or do any kind of construction because I'm pretty bad at that stuff. It's a going joke that I've done over 1,000 transactions and real estate deals and I can't even hang a picture straight. But I always go, and there's a lot I could do. I can probably figure out how to do short sales myself and spend months or years trying to learn it and not have the ins and outs and be, really half-assing it, not doing everything I need to do. But when you're dealing with someone like Matt and his team, this is all they do. This is all they do. They're not out there building houses. They're not out there wholesaling deals themselves. They're not out there doing rental properties like I am. They're not out there doing notes. They're not out there trying to, chasing that shiny object. All they do is the short sales, loan mods, work out with banks. They help borrowers in trouble. But what's so cool, when I first met Matt, he wasn't really doing a lot for investors at the time. And I think because investors try to get in there and they're in this game like we're going to steal people's houses from them. We don't want to pay anybody for their services. So, they wanted to wholesale deals and they don't want to pay Matt to do the work. And I told him, I said, listen, I can care less what your fee is. It doesn't matter to me. If my number, tell me what your fee is. I'll put it in my deal, just like a rehab. If a rehab costs me $40,000, I put it in my deal. If the numbers work, I do the deal. If the numbers don't work, I don't do the deal. So, and that's why we hit it off so well a couple of years ago, and we've done a lot of business. Because I'm not there looking to cut people's fees or anything like that. I want the experts, like my deals. I want an attorney that knows what he's doing, how to draw the paperwork up when I do a loan. I want the contractor that knows how to do exactly what I need done in that house. I want the best roofer. I want the best electrician doing that. I don't want a guy that does floors up on my roof doing my roofing, okay? So in your business, it's setting up the people, processes, and systems, and that's what's so important. So if you have the opportunity, and I know so many people have hit me up and said, who does your short sales? Who does your loan mods? And I'm kind of like antsy about referring them over to Matt because if I don't believe that you're somebody who's going to, pay him what he's worth or somebody who's not going to waste the time, I don't want to send anyone over to him. Because just like I won't refer anyone I don't use, I won't refer somebody I don't trust that will take care of my people the right way. When I say my people, my team. He's part of my team because anytime I have a short sale or somebody needs a loan modification, wants to save their house, I send them to Matt. Anyone on here can comment. He's done a great job with every one of them. I've had not one complaint from any of them. And I personally have done short sales with him. And right now, he's still working on, I think, 2 deals for me right now. Yeah. One of them is probably like 3 years old. He has the person in the house. And he's stopped that foreclosure. He stopped the sale twice already. And the other person came to us like the last minute. Can't give their information out. The property was due to be sold. What's today? Monday, Tuesday. What's today? 10th. Yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Yesterday was supposed to go to sale. He stopped the sale. He stopped the sale. What was this week? Today's Tuesday. Well, whatever. He stopped it this week. The sale helped that borrower. They would have lost the home. The home would have been gone. There's no doubt about it. The home would have been gone this week. In the house with kids, it would have been a mess. So his team does what it takes to get it done. And, so the partner program is not just for investors like myself. In fact, it's fairly new to investors. I'm going to say over the last maybe 2 years or 3 years. Yeah. Most of the time it was for homeowners direct. Homeowners and realtors working with him. Now, if you have a deal, basically with the partners program, is you're going to bring that deal over to Matt and his team, and they're going to ascertain if that's a deal, whether he could do a loan modification, a workout, a short sale, anything he could possibly do for that. And you're going to be part of the partners program. And what's cool is if you're a realtor, you're going to get a chance to list that house. You're going to be on the listing side. If you're an investor, you have a chance to buy that house. Maybe not now, maybe in 2 years from now, whatever it might be. Or he might work with you right now, like me. As I show, we have 2 deals in contract right now.
Right.
When they close, I get that house, So my borrower stays in that house for as long as possible. And eventually, it's going to get to a point where they might have to close. Shit will get off the pot type thing. And then we get the house. So How do people join the partner program, Matt? Let's get them that, and then we'll kind of sign off from that.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll ask one more question, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you could go to the website. It's very easy to remember. The website is stopforeclosure.co. It's stopforeclosure.co, and you can log on, go onto the site, take a look around, take a look at some of the testimonials. Those testimonials are IP driven.
Sure.
So obviously, if you know anything about the internet, IP driven. Basically, if I had to prove it,
it's not. Listen, anyone that knows you can check you out online. You should be following Matt on Facebook anyway. Matt he doesn't need to prove himself at this point. He's been in business like over 10 years, I think 12 plus years. He's done hundreds, if not thousands, of deals.
It's funny because there's so many people that were in the industry that jumped out. And
it's a hard industry, bro.
It is a hard industry.
Miserable industry. I don't like it.
It can be very hard to make money in the industry. And then, I do get some of these gurus that reach out to me, which cracks me up. And they're like, hey, can I ask you a question? Or do you know what's going on with that bank? Or, can I pick your brain?
Because you're a trusted advisor in the
industry.
I
love it because some of the people that are still doing it or people that want to get into it or they went a different way and they claim to be so great at it, and they're still coming to me for questions.
But it's because you're a trusted advisor in the industry, and it's because you're the expert in the industry. Like I said, you don't have to. People call me up. It's funny. They'll off topic a little bit. They'll call me up and they'll say, "Hey, listen, you're investing in a ton of deals. I want to join venture with you. I want to partner with you on some of your deals." And I'm like, and then I ascertain if there's somebody I want to work with because I interview them just like you should interview me. Mm-hmm. So when I interview them, it's I ask them a couple questions, great, and then they get off the phone and they say, well, give me some referrals I can call, and I give them. I have no problem giving them, but my coach at one time says that's ridiculous. You don't give them your investors.
You know who my referrals are? Attorneys. Those are my referrals. You want a referral if I'm doing the right thing? Call one of my attorneys.
But I give them all the time. But then I get off the phone. I'm like, you call me. You're looking to work with me. I have a reputation doing this 28 years, doing over 1,000 transactions, and I got to give you a referral. But I understand you do your due diligence, and that's cool. So I don't think you have to prove yourself. But yeah, a ton of testimonials.
The testimonials are on my site, so you can see the testimonials. But the partner program aspect of it to get in front of agents. Because here's the other thing, too, and I know you'll agree with this, and there's plenty of people that are going to watch this or they're watching it at a later time, and they're all going to say the same thing. He's right. The market's going to correct itself again. Mm-hmm. I mean, aren't they doing like 0% financing now on houses again?
Oh, yeah, and they're doing over 100%. It's absolutely out of control.
Right, so they're doing 100% finance. So they didn't learn the first time. They're coming back around for a second time. They get spanked, which is fine. But the market hasn't recovered from the first aspect of it, from the first correction that we had in 2005. So we've been plowing through this whole time. With the George bill, with his bill that he put in place in 2007 that expired last year. That thing went for 10 years. Mm-hmm. That thing was only supposed to be around for like 2-3 years. Right. We figure it out. But it's never going to end. And that's the thing that I want to say. It's never going to end. So if you're a realtor, if you're a broker, I mean, we've gone and we've talked to the offices. But if you're a realtor and you're a broker, and if you know me and if you know Dan, and you want us to come in either together, or if you want me to come in and you want me to talk about the reality of short sales are not going away, and your agents don't know what they're doing. And I blame the boards of realtors for not educating these agents properly because they still don't know what they're doing. And I talk with brokers, and they're blown away.
It's crazy.
Never.
And look who's on, Big Joe. Then what part of Jersey did I just tell you we have to find deals in, Matty?
That's it.
What part?
Hatsfield.
No.
Hensfield.
No. Say it right. Big Joe, I got you taken care of, brother. I got you taken care of.
Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Keep talking.
Hold on. Keep talking. Because we just talked about you, my man. One of the best house flippers out there in South Jersey. Love working with them.
Where is it? Don't go anywhere. Joey!
I just talked about you. Tell him the area because he doesn't even know how to say it.
Hold on.
And if you're looking for a house in this area, make sure you hit up Joe Evangelisti, the Flip King.
Haddonfield, New Jersey.
That's right. How many houses do we have ready for him out there?
Joe, I got 49 prospects for you.
We're already talking about
49, Joe. 49 prospects.
Joe, There we go. Haddonfield. What'd I tell you?
That's it. We got 49 prospects.
Joe, I had to make him say it because he wouldn't have believed it if I didn't make you say it right there.
Yeah,
but
49
anyway,
prospects.
We just had a great conversation about that.
Yeah.
That's part of the Partners program. Joe will talk about it. He's already pulled up a list. He's got 49 prospects in your market that we can lock up, hopefully. We got to get him closed. And
but hold on, let me just say one thing.
But you know Joe is a broker, too. He owns a RE/MAX company.
Beautiful.
And he's probably the top broker. He's winning a ton of awards. Say Joe will buy them all. He's no joke. Adam, what's on, baby? Adam,
buy them all.
Adam is a great guy in the mortgage business as well. But Joe will buy them all.
But
we're going to fund them all.
But that's a perfect example. How many agents does Joe have in his office?
Joe doesn't have a lot, but they do a lot of business.
Okay.
Joe, how many agents do you have in your office?
How many agents you got, Joe?
Joe does a ton of. I mean, I'll be honest with you. All the realtors I know, and I hate to say, I'm sorry if anybody gets upset, but Joe's probably does 20, but he does the highest end, and I'm not saying most expensive, the highest end rehabs I've ever seen. And not only that, but his agents get these things sold. I don't even know if you can get a house from him.
So Joe, let me ask you a question, Joe. Out of 21 agents in your office, how many of them are full-time active agents? It's a good question to ask.
I ask him.
You got 21 agents, Joe. How many of those agents are full-time?
They make a time. I know they do well.
It's fine.
But you got to look up his properties.
But there's a method to my madness of why I'm saying this.
Everyone.
I love it. There's no reason why, Joe, you don't have Dan and me come in and talk in your office and explain the Partners program, because it's only going to add value.
Plus Joe can cook a mean-ass steak.
We go into his house for a barbecue?
Joe's cooked some mean-ass steaks for me before.
Okay.
So, but you know what, Joe? That's a great idea. Actually, maybe we should set something up in your office. Have Maddie come in and speak to them.
Yes.
Because
100%.
You know what? These are properties that nobody's seeing. They're total off market. If we can work with somebody in that office to grab these properties, I know you'll buy every one of them.
Well, they knock on their doors.
We'll talk to Joe about it. Joe is a great motivator. I'm telling you, if you're a realtor in South Jersey market and you're a real realtor,
yeah.
I mean, you're doing real business and you're hungry, I don't know if Joe has room for more people, but hit him up, because if I was an agent, that's the only place I'd be working. I'd be honest with you. RE/MAX office with Joe Evangelisti, the Flip King. He does it right. First of all, there's no way you can't make six figures being an agent in his office, because the properties he brings in, the leads he has. I think he showed me like 50 leads sitting there right now that aren't being worked. I mean, it's just crazy. When you do business right, that's what happens.
But here's the other thing too. So also as part of the Partners program, and we'll do a video just alone on the Partners program, 100%.
Okay. I thought that was this. I thought that was this.
This was like the intro. This is like the intro.
The intro to the intro.
This is the intro to the intro. This is where you get the anesthesia before they start doing the rectal exam. You know what I'm talking about? But for the Partners program, right? So now, which is great about this. Hold on. Which is great about this is that if somebody has a lead and they don't know what to do with it, they can call my office and we'll actually talk to the homeowner who's in trouble and almost practically beg them to have his agent go down to the house and get the listing for the property.
I love it.
Huge.
I do love that.
Huge.
We'll make short sales great again.
Huge. Gonna make it great again.
So anyway,
forget America, just short sales.
Let's just. So in the Partners program, do they know how much they make, or does it all depend? How does that really work with them?
No, that's something that, it's a case-by-case scenario.
Okay.
Nobody works for free, obviously. I don't like to work for free. I'm not going to let anybody else work for free.
Okay.
But you're going to build, if somebody wants to try to stay in their property, and let's say they want to try to do a modification, or let's say they want to do some type of foreclosure prevention. They need 6 months to a year to stay in the house. It's like an annuity.
Right.
You know at the end of it, that agent who brought that deal, they're getting that listing back.
Right.
So I have an agent right now, they brought me 3 deals. Not right now, right? But in August, when these people have to get out of the property, boom, this person already knows they're getting 3 listings.
Huge.
That's sick.
No joke, that is huge.
That
is huge. Really huge, because
that's value right there.
They are, because that's a listing you're going to get. You're guaranteed to get that listing. You're helping your seller out. You're possibly going to be able to work with them again. You're getting a listing out of it. I mean, it's a great program.
And you think about how many referrals you're going to get out of that, because maybe they
That's
don't.
what it's all about.
Maybe they don't know anybody else is in trouble, but they know that the agent was so awesome to introduce their situation to me for me to help them. And let's face it, 100%. When somebody works with me, they're not a client; they're a family member. This isn't an infomercial,
right?
But it's for real. You know how I am with my clients.
I
take it personal.
Let me do this. I like to end every show with a golden nugget, right? We're going to give out one golden nugget that they might not get anywhere else, that they might have to pay somebody for. Let's talk about a loan mod. If somebody's trying to modify their house, what is the one thing you could tell them that might be off the top of your head? I know I'm hitting you with this. Now I'm prepared. But what's the one thing you could tell them that they might not know? One thing. One golden nugget that you can give them that they might not know, that they'd probably pay somebody a lot of money to figure this out. What is that you can give these people? And we're going to do that on every episode. We're going to give a golden nugget at the end. So people stay tuned to get that golden nugget.
So I've had people come to me and say to me, Matt, I already did a modification once. I'm going to go to an attorney now to find out if I can qualify for another modification. The attorney's going to charge you an arm and leg to make one phone call. You can call your bank directly.
Okay, great.
No money, and you can ask them, are there any programs right now that I could actually qualify for a modification?
And who would they ask that to at the bank?
Well, believe it or not, if you're behind, right, and you put your Social Security number in, or if you put your account number in, they automatically route them to the Loss Prevention Department.
So is there some, at the Loss Prevention Department, is there some specific person they should ask for?
All they have to say is, look, I'm looking for options to save my property or to keep my house. I already did a loan modification. Is there any other programs that are available out there to help me?
Cool. And one other thing, is there any programs you know of that just hit right now, recently, this year or something, or ending this year, that we have to look out for?
Well, there are a ton of programs that actually ended, and there hasn't been
or ending soon.
Nothing ending soon.
Okay.
They're talking about new programs coming out. But there's nothing right now that everything is status quo. Everything that's changed January 1st is absolutely
so we won't really see anything till the new year.
We're probably not going to see anything to the new year, but I do know that if it's a portfolio loan, and basically what a portfolio loan is when the bank actually owns the asset.
Okay. Yep.
Versus harvesting out or having an investor on it, they might actually have different in-house programs than it would be if there's any type of government programs that might be available out there.
Well, I appreciate it. You've given so much information to everybody here. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me on.
No, my pleasure. Like I said, this is the first one's going to be a Facebook Live. Everything else is going to be a webinar after this. If you liked what we had, please share it out. Share my Facebook feed out to people and let them know we're going to be every week. Other than when I travel, because I do travel a lot, but we're going to try to record these in advance every week. We will put out an episode on one of the different chapters, whether it's how to do a short sale, how to do a loan mod, different aspects, dealing with attorneys, dealing with BPO agents, dealing with realtors, dealing with investors, whatever it might be. Matt's going to give everything he could possibly give to you. One episode at a time, so it's not too much, and you could follow along. And like I said, we're just trying to get the word out there to help everybody, help themselves, because nobody, so many people don't know about this, and they're hearing all this minutia out there from different people and what's going on. And this is somebody I deal with myself. He works for my business. We're opening another company to partner together to help, and basically it's just to help save people's homes. That's what it's for. We don't need to buy more houses.
I don't know what their options
exactly. Just help people save their homes. That's what we're looking to do. That's important to me. And if it wasn't important to Matt, we wouldn't do this together. And we're blessed to be able to do this. I don't have the knowledge enough to do it. My knowledge comes from buying these houses as an investor, and Matt's knowledge is helping those people keep those houses. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Caesar, I appreciate it. Loan mods are still possible. I've seen them myself with Matt. Like I said, he's giving you information how to do it yourself a little bit. I still don't recommend that, but Matt's going to give you all the content you possibly need over time. Yep. So if you do want to do it yourself, he's not charging you for that. But I still rather use the expert. That's me. But we don't want to hold anything back from you. So with that, I wish you all the best. If you need to speak to Matt, you feel free to hit me up as well. You can either message me on Facebook or you can email me. My email is dan@ZitofskyCapitalManagement.com. ZITOFSKY capitalmanagement.com, all one word. Or shoot me a message on Facebook and I'll refer you over to Matt. He'll be glad to speak with you or put you in touch with one of the members of his team, which are great. Wish you all the best and take care.
And it's not a no until you get a restraining order.